Faith has helped our people survive countless atrocities. And on the 7th day of Kwanzaa, I'm Dr. Kelly Kirksey, the holistic psychotherapist from Creative Wellness Solutions, recording at the Oak Hill Collaborative and their media space with you to talk a little bit about faith on our wellness journey. Faith is critical because without that seed of faith, then the why to get up in the morning is not present. Faith is critical because it keeps us moving forward. We have to have faith in ourselves, and I would even say that for me, having faith in something beyond myself is so strengthening. Because once I know and remember that I don't have to hang the stars or the moon, that I have faith that all of those things are going to happen, that I have faith that the sun is going to rise, then I can rest and take care of the things that I need to take care of in my ability and capacity. I have faith that all is well despite the illusion of unwell. I think back to the old Negro spiritual, we've come this far by faith. Oh, we can't turn around. We've come this far by faith. And oftentimes, when we lose faith in terms of our mental health, our well-being, we lose faith because we are moving forward and there's fear, some anxiety about what the future brings, or we're leaning back into old regrets. So what I would recommend as a wellness strategy is to be mindful. Bring mindful into all of your practices. In other words, encouraging yourself to be here now, to be present to yourself in every sacred moment of your life. So often we're moving so fast that we can't even feel our feet beneath us. Faith and mindfulness and groundedness all go together. We have to be present to tap into something that's beyond ourselves. So for a moment, let yourself take a breath. And as you exhale that breath, feel your feet on the earth. Feel the solidity of what lies beneath you in your heart space, in your groundedness. Even feel your toes in your shoes. Feeling your base wide, expansive. I am present. I am here now. Feel your back supported by your chair. Feel the breeze on your face. Feel the fabric resting on your skin. And knowing that you are connected to all, that you are not alone. Have faith that we are all one, that we are united. Have faith that we are rising, you are rising, we are in oneness. And despite the wildness of this 2020 ride that we've been on, we're here. Some have ascended, and I believe they've ascended and they're working for us on the other side. I have faith in that, and I am encouraging you to draw on your faith. Draw on the faith of the ancestors to move you forward in a good way. Even affirm to yourself out loud, I have faith. I am here now. I am whole in mind, body, and spirit. So I'm going to share with you a poem today. And it's a poem that I wrote a while ago in a little bit of a challenging time, but it was a reminder that all is well, that I have faith that all is well. It's called Now. This now is not our undoing. This now is not our crowning. This is our moment of transformational, heart-opening courage. Courage to create anew. We're called to be the artists of our lives. We're called to touch and activate the beauty of our soul. We are called to give birth to the medicine our own hearts require for our elevation of mind, body, and spirit. This is our now calling, our invitation to compassionately embrace this reconstruction of life in this beautiful circle of our community. We faithfully rise up. We faithfully rise up. We faithfully rise up, and we answer the call. Happy Kwanzaa, everyone. Be well. Be well.
Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. No, I'm just joking, family. Family, thank you for joining us. Be sure to catch us on the next video, family. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch.
We need to get in the mindset, according to the American Heart Association, even if we think about 2 lifestyle factors, just 2. We don't have to do all the other stuff, just concentrate on this 2. Exercise and healthy eating. So, what 2 lifestyle habits are we going to concentrate on this week? Exercise and healthy eating. Here, what's going on? Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we are saying
First
the new guidelines.
You need to get down here at King Arts Complex.
2-minute bouts of exercise during the day adds up to your 150 minutes plus for the week. We can do 2 minutes, right? So are we doing 2 minutes? All right, so let us bring up our one and only Dr. Kelly Kersey, who is a clinical psychologist, and she will give us what we call mindful movement. We're starting out with mind, body, and spirit. Go ahead.
Abaragani. 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 Uwoja. Welcome, everybody. So I was reflecting on unity, and what came to me is that we can't have unity if we're not in balance in this body, right? So we have to be in balance in our physical body in order to have our mind and our spirit at a place where we can soar, right? Because what we want to do is soar while we're on this planet. We want to soar. So when I count to 3, I want you to say soar, and I want you to move your arm up to the sky. 1, 2, 3, soar. 1, 2, 3, soar. 1, 2, 3, soar. 1, 2, 3, soar. We need to soar. And how can we soar if we're walking around as a street sweeper collecting issues from other people, collecting issues that we see perhaps on the news, perhaps things from our past, that we're gathering up all of these things that are keeping us a little heavy, right? Keeping us a little bit heavy. So when we talk about being well in mind, body, and spirit, we have to move the body in order to move the mind. Can we agree on that? Right. So move the mind. On 1, 2, 3, move the mind. 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 All right, so I'm going to show you all some simple practices to help move the energy in your body. Because as we're going through life and we're feeling a little heavy and we're thinking about some things that have been in our past that may not have felt so good, we can carry that around. And it gets stuck in the physical, in the folds of. Start at the top of the head, and we're going to move down through the body. So I want you to follow me, and we're going to have a drum beat. So I'm going to put this microphone down so I can really move with both of my hands, and I'm going to invite you to stand up, get on your feet, lift that.
Peace and blessings, beautiful people. This is Sister Roni Offset and my beautiful family and friends back here. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Over here to my left is, right behind me, beautiful Precious. It's her birthday today, and Yashiva. Today we will be sharing with you some Kwanzaa yoga, how you can do yoga together and promote umoja, unity, and collective work and responsibility, making sure everyone takes care of their health together. So we're going to practice a quick 15-minute routine that you could do. So I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you on the mat. Make sure you have a mat. Make sure you have some water if you need blocks or pillows or whatever you need. Get your stuff together, and we're going to get started now. Everybody in position. All right. Habarigani, everyone. We are going to begin with the journey of Ra, or as you might have heard it called, the sun salutation, which is 12 to 16 movements that stretch the entire body, awaken all of the energy systems in the body, all of the organ systems in the body, allow the body to feel vital, strong, and healthy. Even when it's cloudy outside and the sun is not shining, we are going to ignite our own sun, our own fire within, through the journey of Ra. This can be done in a chair as well, so you can modify it by just doing the upper parts in the chair. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We start off by bringing our feet together, standing in victorious Haru or mountain pose, palms facing forward. Relax the shoulders back and down. Relax the face. And begin breathing in and out through the nose. Allowing yourself to feel fully present in your beautiful bodies. Giving thanks for life, giving thanks for mobility and movement. We're going to slowly begin to breathe our hands up. Circle sweep them up and around the body. Your hands should be above your head now. Slowly exhale back, bringing the hands into a triangle. The thumbs are touching and the index finger, and go back as far as you can for a nice back bend. Lifting back up through the legs, get nice and tall, and slowly fold forward. Bringing your hands down to frame the feet on the side of the feet. Release your neck. Just relax and let everything go here. If you want to move your knees from front to back, please feel good and feel free to move as you need. Then we're slowly going to bring our left foot back behind us. We're a nice lunge here. You can look up. Nice deep breaths. Remember to synchronize your breath with the movements. Then we're going to bring the right foot back. So now we are in newt pose, or the pyramid pose. Palms are flat. And I'm going to show you from this side. And you can come up on your tippy toes and then slowly relax and draw the heels back down into the earth to feel the full stretch in the back of the legs. Let's just hold these poses for a moment to feel the medicine from them, to feel the energy flowing throughout the body. Now you're going to see Precious is going to do a modified as we evolve into Wajette, or the Cobra pose. So you can come down onto your knees. You can come down, and then you can slowly begin to, snake yourself forward. All right, and everyone else, we can go ahead and just bring ourselves down onto our bellies, push into the mat, and lengthen out. If you want to look up, you can look up. Stretch the front of the neck. From there, release the elbows and bring the body all the way back flat onto the mat or to get the earth. Curl your toes, and we're going to push ourselves up into Haru's rising. Hold your plank. Hold your own weight. Spread your hands. Engage your core. Engage your glutes. Feel that strength and power raising in the body. And push yourself back into newt, coming up on the tippy toes. And then releasing the heels down to the mat. Nice deep breaths here. Look forward. And then you're going to bring your left foot back in front. Release the right knee down onto the mat. Bring the top of the foot down and then look up. Feel that stretch in the front thigh. Releasing any tension you may be holding there. Curl your right toes. Lift the right knee off the mat. And keeping your hands planted, see if you can bring that foot forward. Bring that right foot forward. From there, make a triangle with your hands. Keep the head in between the arms. And we're going to move as one. Move in Umoja in unity, coming forward very slowly. So slowly begin to inhale, the hands and the head up, and back for another back bend. And lift it up again and float forward. Let's do it again. Down, release the head. Step the left foot back, right foot forward. Bring your right foot back with the left. Evolve into Wajette. We're going to add on, we're going to go into the Harukahuti pose, or what we call Sphinx pose. Drawing the glutes back to the heels and the belly onto the thighs. Now look up. This is our pose of actualization, our pose of mastery of the higher self over the lower self. Now open your arms out to the side of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly roll the face forward, not touching it. And we're just going to bring the forearms down. So this is going to be a lower back stretch here. So the elbows are onto the mat. The palms of the hands are flat onto the mat. Fingers are spread. We just stretch this lower spine here. All right, slowly come all the way back down. Bring the face down. Curl your toes underneath. Push your hands to the mat. Come up into Haru's rising. Generating power, vitality, strength, showing victory and power. Draw the hips back up into the sky. Lengthen out the arms. Press into the mat. Come up onto your tippy toes. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then release and draw the heels down. Good. Look forward. Let's take that left foot in between the hands. Draw the right heel, right legs back, top of the foot down. Look forward. Release. Look back at your mat. Bring the right foot to the left foot for a nice forward bend. Bring both hands together into a Merkut or the triangle with the thumbs touching, the fingertips touching. Slowly begin to inhale up. Exhale back. And float forward one more time. Heating the body up. Bring that left foot back. You all right, Maya? All right, and then we're going to go ahead, press the hands into the mat, lift that left knee, bring the right foot back. Each time you do it, you get better. First time you might be a little stiff, but each time you do it, you get better. And you can do this simple postures, 4 to 15 times. Just for the sake of time here, we're going to do it. This is our last time. But now we're going to go ahead and come on down. Use the modification you need. Arch the whole spine up, chin up. Come all the way back down. Push up to the roots rising. Yeah, make sure you keep your head aligned with your spine. You keep everything lifted from the core to the glutes. Tighten the glutes. And back up into new pose. Sit bones going up. Beautiful back there, sunshine. Beautiful back there, precious. Yes, Maya. You can always bend the knees here if it becomes too intense. All right, flatten the feet down. Feel that stretch. Look forward. And then we take that left foot in between the hands. Look up. And then bring the right foot in between the hands. Release the neck in between the arms. Nice deep breaths. And then slowly inhale up. And exhale back. Inhale all the way up. Bring the arms down, heart center. You should feel heat and energy flowing throughout your entire body. Now from there, take the hands out to the side. We're going to cross our hands and do the Asar pose for replenishment, which is important during this Kwanzaa season, that we replenish, restore, and resurrect our higher selves. Slowly bring both hands forward. We're going to bend our knees and come down into our sets creation pose. Come on down. See if you can bring the feet together and balance on your toes. Bringing our hands to our heart. Inhale, both hands up. As you are in this pose, think about what you want to create for the new year. For the new Gregorian year, what would you like to bring into existence? You are the co-creator of the universe, of your reality, of what takes place in the African American community. Let us continue to build and be creative. Bring both hands down onto the sides of the knees. Bring your knees together. And come back up into a forward bend. Bring the hands up underneath the knees. Active back extension. Inhale, both hands up. Evolve into the throne pose. Sit the glutes back. Bring the hands together at the heart. And we're going to twist and turn as much as you can, because we have to be flexible in our spine. beautiful and flexible for health and longevity. Inhale, both hands up, over the head, temple hands, exhale back. And slowly come forward on the opposite side. See if you can look up towards the ceiling. If not, if that doesn't feel comfortable, just look forward or look down towards the mat. So see what feels most comfortable here. We are twisting the spine. We are releasing toxins from the abdominal organs. We are making sacred space in the joints of the spine. Slowly inhale back up again. Exhale, bring the hands heart center. Now, find a partner. This is an opportunity for you to practice, umoja and unity with your family and promote health and wellness. So let's start off with our feet like this, side to side. Come over you come over to my mat. So take your foot that way in a V. All right, take the other foot, the left foot at a 90-degree angle. All right. Take both hands out. I'm gonna grab hands here and exhale over. Reach out. How y'all doing back there? Good. Okay. Then take it forward. Release hands. Both hands come forward as you are what they would call a warrior one, and then lean back again. See if you can touch hands. All right, release. Come forward. We're gonna lean into each other, counterbalance each other as we build our house of stability. Press into my hands. Good, stretching. Take the opposite feet towards each other. All right. Take the opposite hand behind the back. There we go. Warrior friend. Let's grab her hand. Yep. Now look over your opposite shoulder. All right. All right. Come back side to side. Step side to side. Release. Take both hands up in the middle. We can't see y'all back there, so I'm gonna move over. Okay. We are going to bring our hands together in the center. Let's bring our hips together. And we take the opposite foot until we are balanced. So we make a double tree. Good. And release, step out. She steps that way, I step this way. Step out, go back over. Foot side to side. Stretch it out. Go ahead, pull that way. Great. Release. Those are just a few poses you could do with your family and friends. We are going to prepare for some breathing exercises as we go into a relaxation pose, okay? Okay, we're going to end our practice today with some nice deep breathing. So let us begin with inhales, just natural inhales and exhales through the nose. Holding the breath for a moment and then releasing. Inhale. And exhale. Now I'm going to have you take your right hand and bring the middle fingers towards the middle of the forehead and your thumb towards your right nostril and your pinky towards your left, okay? So it looks something like this. All right, just preparing ourselves for alternate nostril breathing. Balances the hemispheres of the brain, balances right, left, builds the immune system, brings fresh oxygen into the body. So let's just breathe by plugging in the right nostril with the thumb Just breathe in and out through the left for about 5 breaths. Now, plug in the left nostril and breathe in and out through the right. And now we're going to alternate. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through the right nostril and retain the breath. Savor the breath for a moment. Then plug in the right nostril and release through the left. Breathe in through the left nostril. Exhale through the right. Breathe in through the right nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Slowly release your hands onto your knees and breathe naturally for a moment. Let's end with one more breathing exercise. Taking your hands to your belly button, palms facing upward. We're going to inhale, hold the breath, exhale. Bring the palms facing the pelvis back down. Let's inhale again. And exhale. Now I'll repeat some affirmations as you continue that breath. Inhale. My body is strong and flexible. Exhale. My mind is clear. Inhale. My heart is filled with love, wisdom, and power. Exhale. All in equal measure. One more time. Inhale. My body is strong and flexible. Exhale. My mind is clear. Inhale. My heart is filled with love, wisdom, and power. Exhale. All in equal measure. Circle the hands around your body. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, bring the hands slowly down the center of the body into the heart center. May your heart be as light as a feather. May you have a wonderful Kwanzaa and celebrate it with family and friends. Remember that health is wealth, So we as a community must make an effort, a strong effort to maintain our physical health and vitality with water, exercise, air, light, thinking, happy and positive thoughts, healthy food, and sleep. Peace and blessings. Happy Kwanzaa. Baragani. Thank you, everyone.
You know, it really wasn't a doubt. I knew I would do well.
Enough.
But I really didn't, I mean, it was not on my mind. I just wanted to get better. And I think if you focus on being the best within yourself, all that stuff will come. Right. I hear people say, get your money on, get your money on. I hate that. And that's your motivation? If you do well, the money will come.
That's what I know.
You know what I mean? And quit focusing on the money.
Right.
Because it's not about the money. My love for comedy is just unbelievable.
Family, man. Bernie Mac was cold. Y'all really, really, really need to listen to his words, but I've been telling y'all about this mastery shit for a long time. So Bernie Mac was cold in the game, family. He was ahead of his time. He inspired a lot of comedians. And I saw this meme. I said, I got to do something with this because I'm saying shit, but it don't seem to be hitting people. So I have to start putting up other people's shit. I mean, it's very simple. But anyway, what Bernie Mac was talking about was mastery. He said, get better. He wanted to get better and better at his craft. Family, first off, decide on what your craft is, right? And start mastering it, right? Don't worry about the money. You know what I'm saying? As one of my elders told me a long time ago, get all of the failures out of the way, right? Get into it. Get good enough at it that you affect other people in a way that they want to help you, right? And helping you means that they have to buy a product from you. They will. Family, trust me. Work on mastery. Skip all the other stuff. Become the best at what you do. That's your goal right now. Especially those of you that's in Giami and those that want to go farther. Check us out. Come to freegnjecourse.com. And family, let's start building. Because we're about to take it to another level here at Giami Journey. Peace.
Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. No, I'm just joking, family. Family, thank you for joining us. Be sure to catch us on the next video, family. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch.
friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. And I came back to let you know I got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My only one was best is you. I can't believe the things I do for you. What you won't do, you do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you know. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do.
Getting back is the incredible. Once again, back is the incredible.
Family, we are up and not exactly live, but live enough. It's gonna get live up in here because I got the educational chameleon here with me. I have been blessed with her presence. Actually, me and brother Kwame, also known as the Black Yoda, also known as Master Poe, we sitting up in here in the studio, and one of the questions that we wanted to talk with Sister Janice about was actually it's a two-part conversation. We want to talk about education because she was basically born in the teaching field. And we also want to talk about her principle of choice, which just happens to be Ujima. All right, how you doing today?
I'm
Miss
good. How are
Riley?
you? How y'all doing?
We doing good, man. Over this part, we somewhere between the earth and the sky, ain't touching dirt
That's
no
it.
way.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So how's things going in Detroit for you, far as the whole education piece, if you don't mind me asking?
So Detroit, the poorest, most segregated urban center in the entire United States, we're struggling. We were struggling before COVID. COVID adds a layer of struggle that is almost incomprehensible. So we're challenged up here. In addition to today is the first day of winter, I am a child of the sun, so I ain't happy.
But hey, so speaking of that, you do know that there's a major conjunction happening, which has been taken in the past days as a sign of change. So get out
Yes,
there and catch those rays, baby. This is
that's right.
our time is coming. So now, if you were in charge of education in Detroit or even a nation, because we got big dreams here, Giami Journey. We talking
That's
about doing
right.
some political things. What would be some of the changes that you would make in the education system?
So it's really interesting that you asked that question as we discuss the third principle of Kwanzaa, because the truth is, one of the reasons why we are failing in a general sense in public education is because we continue to try to educate the kids, period. And the truth is, we have to collectively participate in this process called education. It doesn't just include the kids. It includes their parents, it includes their community, it includes the larger family of sorts. Educating a child alone is just us treading uphill constantly. We have to be working collectively, everyone, in terms of education. So if I were in charge, it would be a process that would be much more collective. It would involve, in any way we could, more than just the students.
So you said we've been kind of like, in a sense, treading water, climbing up a hill over and over again. How is the way we do education now? In what ways have you seen it affecting us as far as society, affecting us especially in the Black community? You know what I'm saying? Because like, what are some of the issues that you have seen come out of how we're educating our young people?
So one of the concerns I've had over and over and over again. I started in the education game on the collegiate level. And so I started teaching adults. It was my youthfulness and my love of young people that led me to decide to go the K-12 route. When I went the K-12 route, I then learned the classroom. I wound up working at the district level, and now I'm back in the school. So I've seen education at every single level. And one of the things that's true is that the more deficits students have, the more attention is given to, I think, a lot of all the wrong things. For example, if we've got students that are coming from homes and families where education is not a value, there are all kinds of things that a teacher is, there are all kinds of things that education does or does not do to address that issue that makes things either complicated or easier. Does that make sense? Or
Yes. So so now check this out. How do you feel about this? Because this is one of the things that bother me. I went to a store the other day. I won't say which store I went to. No, but one of my teachers was working at the store.
mm-hmm.
Do you experience that in Detroit, where the teachers, what teachers are being paid is so minuscule?
Yes.
That teachers have to work 2 and 3 jobs?
Yes. So yes, teachers struggle, as do a lot of people. And up until very recently, Detroit Public Schools actually paid, we were among some of the least paid teachers, not just in this area, but in the nation. There's recently been a move that first year teachers will now be paid in excess of $50,000 in our district. There was not a massive raise given to those of us with the most experience, but yeah, it's not unusual for teachers, particularly those that have families, to have multiple jobs in order to survive. That's not unusual at all.
Well, I have a question on that because as we're talking about the collective effort that it's going to take to educate ourselves, I was thinking about the teacher, and a lot of times I find that I tend to do my best teaching even while I'm learning.
Yes.
And, when we do things like, what's it called when, you get to forego you're paying your college, your loans,
forbearance or something like that.
No. Well, basically, I guess you have to do so much time teaching in the quote unquote inner city.
Yes.
And then you get to forego your loans, right?
Yes. Teach for America.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And so we sweeten the pot, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But then what it draws is not necessarily in our best interest. Because, even as you just pointed out, okay, so I draw this new group of people in, but those who have the most experience and the most know-how, they're not really seeing that kind of benefit for staying in the field.
Right. And let me add, that's an excellent point. And let me add this. For a very long time, there's been a lot of discussions about programs such as Teach for America and other programs that ask the best and the brightest to come into the teaching profession. If you do this for 3 to 5 years, we'll pay off all of your loans. Here's the rub. Education as an undertaking, if done justly, requires a great deal of personal commitment from those who are involved. If my primary commitment is to pay off my student loans, right, then yes, for a period of time, I'll do what I have to do. But many of those students coming into the program know that after that 3 to 5 year period, they're off to do what they really want to do. And so for me, as a person dedicated to both the profession and the kids, those people they're dangerous to me because of their lack of commitment to the only thing that matters in the process. And so while they may be very bright, when they are teaching a particular lesson, they're not light on their feet to immediately address what's missing. They're not thoughtful about the enterprise that they're engaged in. They're just trying to get to the next pay period to get eventually for their loans to be paid off. And so while I've met some very knowledgeable teachers in programs like that, the vast majority of them are quite honestly not interested in the work. And you can tell in terms of what the output that you get.
Now you talking about this whole commitment piece, man. Listen. All right. So you got people getting in the field, and let me add this to the end of that. You have some people who get in for the 3 to 5 years, and then end up being stuck because the dream that they were trying to pursue, they no longer pursue, and they get hooked on the salary, so they can't leave now because they have invested in life.
Right.
So now we got somebody in the classroom who don't even like our kids,
right?
Our children, forgive me, our children, and they're tearing our kids up.
Yes.
Now, so before we get into this whole GMA piece, what are some of the methods that you use to bring out the best in your students?
So first and foremost, always most importantly, it's about relationships. And so in Detroit, of course, many of the students I've had over the years are very distrustful of authority, very distrustful of adults, and rightfully so for a lot of reasons. And so one of the things that I do when I first meet students, first of all, when students have me, my reputation precedes me. And so I have to break down walls, and because I really am seen as tough, as no nonsense, as very, very serious about education. We live in a world today where we give our children way too much authority to choose, for example, who their teachers are. And so when kids come to me, I already know that I need to humanize myself for them to get them to be able to begin to do the work. And so I introduce myself to them. I tell them that I came through the same school district they did. I tell them that I'm a second, third generation teacher, and that no matter what, my mission is that I'm going to, wherever I meet you on the academic scale, I'm going to take you past that by the time our work is done. And so I sort of make a promise to them. The baby. I sort of make a promise to them that I'm going to elevate their thinking.
All right. So what you caught me with something else, because this is something I wanted to hit on anyway. You said that you are a third generation teacher.
Yes. Yes.
So you gonna have to break that shit down for me. Excuse me.
So behind me, that dude in the flowered shirt is my dad. He's been gone 2 years now, but my father was one of the first African American men ever hired to teach instrumental music in Detroit public schools. His father was also a musician who was a teacher. And so my father taught for nearly 42 years in Detroit public schools. He didn't just teach in DPS for nearly 42 years. My dad spent the vast majority of his tenure in Southwest Detroit, which is largely Latino. And so my dad was so committed to not just teaching, but to his students, that he taught himself Spanish so as to be able to more effectively communicate with the parents of all of his students, because it is my father who taught me that education is not just about the children in front of you, it's about their families and their extended communities. And so much of what makes me an effective teacher, much of what makes me the educational chameleon, is because I was literally trained by a master. Literally. The man next to him in the picture is my brother and my mentor, Dr. Carl Taylor, who's a longtime criminologist, sociologist at Michigan State, who is very, very knowledgeable. He is one of the foremost leading academics about criminology, gangs, and gang behavior. And so not only am I very knowledgeable about the academic piece, it's what I bring in terms of my knowledge about human beings, about what people need spiritually and socially. All of that is what comes together to make me an effective teacher. There are a lot of teachers that have pieces of all of that. The most effective are those that come with that full package, who understand curriculum alone is just words on a page. And if you want to move kids, you got to know kids. You don't have to love them or love their behavior, but you got to like working with young people. And if you don't, you belong someplace else. Like, it takes a special kind of person to be able to work with young folks. And all anybody needs to do is think back to when you were a young person. That's all you have to do.
You dropped the bomb in that one, man. You said to move kids, you have to know kids. Listen up, teachers. To move kids,
yes,
you have to know kids. And she broke it down. Her secret sauce is relationships.
That's right.
But hold now. So when you went to school, were you focused on becoming a teacher?
Never. Yeah. Like I spent my father. So when I was a little girl and they would ask me as a little girl, what do you want to be? I never said, well, sometimes I said what I wanted to be, but most of the time I would say, I don't know, but I don't want to be a teacher. And that was because my dad just seemed so busy with everybody's life. I had decided as a kid I didn't want to do that. But that's why I think I'm a living manifestation of teachers are born, not necessarily made. Like, I fought what my calling was until I finally surrendered to it being my calling.
So when I met you at Ohio State, what was your major?
When you met me at Ohio State in grad school, the major was American history and Black studies, but I didn't envision ever being a teacher. Never. Like, I was thinking about, first of all, I was doing what I was doing in large part because I was still trying to find what it was I wanted to do. I just was going to use that for something else, Hatim. I had no plans on being a teacher. None.
Wow. But you was even teaching when we was there. That's
I
crazy.
was. That's right.
That's crazy.
That's right.
He said that anything but a teacher, but that's all she was doing. Yep. She was, hey man, this for all those out there, this is the first lady that introduced me to what a sexist was. I didn't even know. And she broke it down and started teaching it. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I won't use those terms anymore. Sexist? What is sexist? I never heard this before. What the hell? Is it wrong?
I didn't say sexist, Hatim. I think I remember that was one of the first times you heard the term misogynist. And you were like, I'm a what?
I don't hit nobody. I don't hit nobody. I ain't violent.
Right.
That's funny.
Which brings me to something else about the whole education game. You know, I think a lot about the movie where Colonel Jessup yells, "You can't handle the truth." One of the things that students will say about me, whether they just meet me or it's 20 years later, they always say, you think what you want about Miss Riley, but she ain't got nothing for you but the truth. She got the truth, no chaser. And telling the truth to students, to teachers, to families, I do that at great risk, except I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way.
But that's because part of education is exposing individuals to the truth.
Yes.
And we have to be in some cases you have to be so politically correct that you can't be honest about a child because sometimes it takes their reality for the parents and the child to snap into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, because like I be telling my teachers sometimes because they always start off with, because in the book they tell us we supposed to start off with a positive.
Yes.
Not if it ain't no positives there. I'm
No.
like, no.
Nope.
You know, like what the hell? You know, but
Yep.
you can't as a teacher, you handcuff a teacher if
Yes.
you teach them not to tell the truth.
That's right.
It's crazy, man. It's
That's
crazy.
right.
And
That's
it becomes extremely difficult to discern the real from the unreal, you know.
Yes.
And not only for yourself, because you can't be authentic, but
Yes.
for those who are coming up under you.
Yes.
So how have you, because like I said, being third generation in the game, seeing education, your parents were involved with a lot of the changes that happened in education.
Yes.
And then you came in later in
Yes.
life, going into education. How have you been able to deal with the new method? Because I ain't gonna say, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but it seems like it's a new method of grading now.
So there is, in my humble opinion, this is what I tell my students. I tell them, because I'm teaching at the highest performing high school in my district. So kids come with a great deal of ego power when they're my students. I do teach predominantly 12th grade. The other half of the day, I support and mentor teachers. But I have to tell a lot of my students, listen, you're focused on the grade. I'm focused on the skill. I de-emphasize grading in my classes because I help the students to understand the grade is important to you. Teaching you the skill is important to me. And so I de-emphasize grading. When students talk to me about grades, I always push back and make them refocus on what were you supposed to learn and how did you demonstrate to me whether you learned it. And so in my class, grading is a different conversation. In fact, to be quite honest, all this educational policy tells you general in K-12. They tell you things like, in order for the kids to keep working, when you assign work, you have to grade it and get it back to them quickly. I am, without doubt, guilty of not doing that all of the time because, like I've explained, I de-emphasize grading. My students know when they're learning because I make clear what the goal is, and they themselves know whether they're meeting it or not. And so what the conversations we have in my classes about grading are very different from what's happening in a lot of other classes. You got to learn the skill. If you learn the skill, your grade will be wonderful.
Sister Janice, my background's in mathematics, and part of the difficulty that I have with a lot of the children I tutor is they're afraid to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
And I try to, and how Tim's is one as well, we try to encourage our young to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
Because at least, in other words, I may give a student 3 different ways of solving a problem.
Yes.
I may give them a college way so that they can see the shortcut to know the answer.
Yes.
But then, as you point out, you have to develop the skill.
Yes.
In order to be able to arrive at that.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's a difficult thing trying to get people to just say, okay, let me have this free moment or free time to make mistakes.
That's right. So I teach my students a statement that by the time they leave me, they know it by heart. I tell them, and it starts off with me saying, repeat after me. Academic success comes on the other side of immense frustration and failure. I make them say that all of the time.
Wait.
I'll say it again.
Is that yours?
I did that. I did that. So
you got the trademark on that because I'm about to steal that shit.
Let me say it to you this way. Again, working at the highest performing high school in the district, my students come with a whole lot of A's on their transcript. And so they are accustomed to being affirmed by getting A's. One of the first things that happens in my class right around the end of September or October is kids have straight grown people attitude with me because I have obliterated that paradigm. My grade book doesn't look like what they're accustomed to. But because I, from day one, am building relationships, they know I'm being fair. They know it's not personal or emotional. And I say to them, it's okay. I said, people don't come in the world winning. That happens on TV. Academic success, and then they repeat, academic success comes on the other side of immense frustration and failure. And over time, me making them say it over and over again, them being able to watch themselves grow, not necessarily by the grades getting better, but by their success at the skills getting better. By the time we get to the end of the first semester, those kids know that statement and they start sharing it with their friends who are not my students. I've used it year after year after year. And to be quite honest, it was a sentence created out of the frustration of my students. I understood what Kwame just said. I understood that kids who are from communities that are just mired in loss, all they want is a win. And so we can get you to the win, but wins are not achieved every time you try something. You become a winner after you failed a lot. I have a video on YouTube that talks about if you want to teach a child to win, you got to teach him how to lose. Period.
Man, all right. So now
Powerful.
let's go on and Kurt. Let's go on and Kurt. Listen, I told you my sister be bringing the heat. Hold on, she don't be bringing the heat. On the other side, well, academic success come on the other side of
immense frustration and failure.
God damn.
Like failure is not the end of the world. We have to condition our students to understand failure is a part of the whole process of walking a path. You're not going to win all the time.
But you know, it ain't the kids we got to go in.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's those parents, because I be having parents talk about, I had a parent come in like a third quarter of a school year and be like, my baby ain't never had a C.
Yep.
I said, ma'am, your baby is in the kindergarten. What the hell is you talking about?
Exactly.
How are we supposed to have a real conversation here?
Exactly.
When you in an illusion.
Right. So another part of what makes you successful in the classroom, Hatim, is exactly what you're talking about. Listen, I've had parents come to parent-teacher conference, and you can tell when they sit down that they have practiced how they gonna check me in the mirror at home. But then what I do, because I understand that everything that I do is about relationships, I allow that parent, and I'm not just talking about mothers, I'm talking about fathers too. I allow that parent to have that emotional space, and I let them attack me however they're going to attack me. One of the things I do that probably has gotten me in trouble a couple times is I have a faint smile on my face as they're attacking me. And that is for me to not respond in kind. But then when it's time for me to talk, one of the first things that I say is, Mom, Dad, let me be clear. I'm in partnership with you to make your kid smarter. I'm in partnership with you to give your kids skills that they'll be able to use and apply beyond my class. I am not in the business of giving kids good grades just because. You should know if your child gets a good grade from my class, they have worked to earn it. It will make them better long term. The gifts I'm giving your kid transcend the class they're in with me. I'm teaching them real things about real life. By the time I'm done with my little speech in response to their emotional breakdown, parents are putty in my hands because they understand I care about their child and that I'm hard on their child because I want to make them better. And so a lot of parents immediately step back. Like I've had parents say they'll come to attack me. By the time we're done talking, they'll give me permission to bop the kid upside the head anytime I want to. Call me, Miss Riley, if you have any problems. Here's my cell phone, my email. And so you have to build relationships and trust with the parents so that they can be your backup at home. You want parents saying, I know you did Miss Riley's homework. I know, you want that. And so you have to build relationships with the extended family too. You are not in relationship with just that child in that desk. You're in relationship with the entire family.
We need to learn how to teach. So, all right, because even before I get to the last thing, what's next for you when you step down from necessarily, you're always going to be a teacher, but when you step out of the district, because I mean, you're doing some heretical talking right here, right now. They're going to chase you up out of there because it's like, you telling the truth. You breaking all the rules. You telling the truth. You're not scared of the parents. You have a certain commitment. You have a fire about you, and the school system don't want nobody like that.
So I do. So let me say this. I've spent my entire career being there for teachers. And so one of the things I'm trying to do right now with intention is I really want my voice to be one that can be heard by people everywhere who are really in this for the long run, who are really in this to make a difference in the life of children, because I've garnered a lot of knowledge and understanding that I think can be shared with other people to give them the same kind of success with young people. And so after this, whatever that means, I just want to have a larger voice, a larger audience to be able to make a bigger difference. Because we got this whole education thing wrong in this nation. It's just wrong. Those that need the most are actually getting the least. Our expectations and standards for the least among us could not be lower. We're being outperformed by nations all over the universe. And I'm not saying that we need to be, if we're the wealthiest nation on earth, it makes no sense to me at all that our educational system is failing so many students unless you consider that some of it's being done by design.
So give the people a little hint of one of the ways that you are expanding your voice.
So I have a podcast called Thoughts from the Teacher. It's available on iTunes and Spreaker and Spotify. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I hang out with Hatim all the time. You got questions, I got answers. All you have to do is reach out. I really love mentoring other teachers, other people who are in the business of trying to make this world a better place for these young people.
Lord have mercy. All right, so now on to Ujima. When I called her, I asked her, I said, I want to interview you. Of course, my sister said yes, because that's what big sisters do for little brothers.
That's right.
So, and I said, which principal would you like to pick? She said Ujima, and she said it because it fit with her idea about education. Can you tell us how Ujima, even though you already did, but go a little bit further in how Ujima fits in with education?
So it's the third principle. 3 isn't that the number of wisdom and harmony?
It can be, but it's also the number of communication.
And communication and creativity and optimism. And so I just see this principle as having a direct connection to education because, again, you can think that when you are teaching a child something, you're just teaching that child. The truth is you're teaching their family, their friends, their siblings, and the larger world. Teachers have more power than I think they oftentimes consider. And the task that we do, we may instruct, for example, those of us that teach K-12, we're instructing these young people, these children in front of us, but everything that they're learning from us seeps into the rest of the world. Everything that we put in them is going to come out of them, just as what happens to them in their homes and families. And so I just think that adults in particular need to be more cognizant of the fact that children are learning all of the time. And so what are you teaching the children that are paying attention to you? Like, all adults are the teachers of children, because children look to imitate. Adults need to be much more serious about what they're putting out, because young people are picking up, imitating, listening, making judgments about right and wrong, good and bad, what is valued and what shouldn't be valued. We have to step our adult game up. These young people that so many adults talk so negatively about are a literal mirror of us.
Right.
All the
Say
things
that.
that we see
Say
that we
that.
don't like, we need to, like Michael Jackson said, be that man in the mirror. They're getting it honestly. One of the I spend a lot of times talking to teachers about, a teacher will come to me and say, have you ever met? And they'll be out of their mind about a kid. And oftentimes my response is, have you ever talked to his mother? And then, there's a lot of pause, because children in general they're not Martians that just behave in some crazy way. They're always explanations that have to do with who they're coming from, what's going on there, etc.
So a true teacher realizes that they're not teaching a student, but they're teaching a collective.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Speak to
And
how
a responsible adult recognizes that when they're interacting with a child, they're also interacting with other adults in that child's life. It's not this singular back and forth. Like, we used to understand how impressionable children were. At some point, we began to forget that our children are children. Just because we put more responsibility on them doesn't make them any more mature. They are still children.
That's right. Your father, because he had taught Spanish-speaking children, I can imagine how that impressed upon you that whole notion of what you teach that child, it goes back home and filters through that family.
Absolutely.
Because I can't, the number of, I used to more or less watch over Spanish-speaking children while their parents would be, quote unquote, upstairs learning English as a second language.
Yes.
And I had established a relationship with one of the parents, and it was interesting. I mean, this is kind of funny, but I'll make it quick. I was doing a graduate class in Spanish, and I wanted him to hear it to make sure it flowed correctly, right? And I forgot I was calling him, and I said, "Hey, is George there?" And he was like, "No," and hung up the phone.
Oh.
And then I thought about it again. I was like, "Oh snap!" Right? This dude ain't gonna talk to nobody in English, right? So I called back and asked for him. Of course, talking to him in Spanish, and now he's there, right?
Yeah.
But again, so that was from my Spanish speaking experiences. I'm sure your father, conveyed that message to you through his experience.
Absolutely.
But also a number of our African children.
Yes.
Particularly, I'm thinking of West Africa.
Yes.
With this one family in particular where literally a 15 to 16-year-old young lady is intelligent as all get out from Senegal. And her mom basically gives all papers to her to handle that business that deals with schooling and stuff.
Right.
And so, there's just interesting to note how these things, occur, because a lot of
Absolutely.
us just don't think about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, oh man. So, you got anything else for us?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. He's freestyle time now. We about to flow.
This is a wealth of she's sitting on a wealth of stuff over there. Man.
I just so what else can I add? Let me say this. Okay, so here we go. All of this madness that's happening right now in this nation relative to COVID, like, we're dealing with a pathogen. Like, that's the science of it. But one of the things I cannot turn my head away from is this is also helping those of us who are thinkers to see just how much work we need to do in this nation to assist people with being able to interpret basic facts and information. The ability of all of these millions of people to be intellectually manipulated by absolute nonsense is frightening to me as a person who understands the development of the mind. It is scary to me to see so many adults, families, and communities who will tell you the sky is blue if it's purple. I just see it as a clarion call to all of us interested in education. Like, we can see all around us, we got a lot of work to do.
A whole lot.
As a collective, speaking of our Kwanzaa principle.
Mm-hmm. And the responsibility.
Yes, collectively, we have a lot of work to do. Like, we got a lot of work to do when we have nearly 80 million people talking about a virus is a hoax. A lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
I often talk about the practical application of, some of the things we know. And because one of my backgrounds, at least, that I tutor statistics, I was thinking about a practical application for a kind of introduction into statistics for our young.
Yes.
And like you said, I mean, when I first heard about the virus and I heard about all the naysayers and this, that, and the other, one of my underlying questions was, okay, one real simple way of getting a gauge on this is go over the past 10 years, see what the average number of deaths is, at a certain point in the year, compare it with, what we've just gone through.
Yes, yes.
That's one way, a quick, fast, dirty way, but, that's one way to do it. And then it becomes a matter of, okay, where are you getting your statistics? And so these are different things that I will be posing to some of our young warriors, to get them to see how trying to discern the real from the unreal,
Yes. Yes.
To get a gauge, because I don't care whether you believe it's COVID or not.
Right.
If our numbers, particularly as it pertains to us as Black people, if we're dying off at the rates that I'm hearing, then I don't care what it is, we need to be highly concerned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with a legitimate history of distrust of the medical and scientific community anyway,
yes,
we have a lot of work to do.
So, all right, 2021, your predictions of 2021, you think it's going to be a better year?
As it relates to what? I'm sorry.
For education.
So
everything,
the thing that's sad.
I'm trying to pull out the Nostradamus in you, baby.
I know. The thing that's sad is, as I get older, unfortunately, I'm losing faith in just in the ability of people to get past their own whatever in the name of humanity. Like, it seems to me I'm seeing less of that in the world. And so 2020 was awful. I'm beyond hopeful and faithful that 2021 will be better. But like I said, when I listen to the voices of Americans, I'm concerned. When I'm listening to what's not being said, because as far as I'm concerned, what Kwame just highlighted, I don't think we've had adequate at all enough discussion about what this virus is doing to communities of color. And the whole notion of public health is something that needs to be discussed by everybody. But like, race is just this thing that precludes advancement in what's supposed to be a progressive nation. So, Hatem, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it's going to be a better year.
Unfortunately, I don't believe you. You don't sound enthusiastic and shit. I don't believe it. You sound like one of those teachers now trying to explain how my son is the idiot with all these. Listen, I'm hopeful that they said he was in 12th grade, but what I'm seeing is, but I'm hopeful that he will be able to make it through this.
Sister Janice, I'll see my wife, she'll be at her office desk in the other room, and I go in there, babe, how you doing? And she'll say something about fine or something like that. I said, could you be a little more convincing?
2021, she started off going down the road like, I'm losing faith. And then she did all that. Then she turned around and say, well, I'm hopeful. Oh,
I gotta have faith. If I don't have faith, what I got? I gotta have faith.
No, but Janice, I hear you. I hear you, Janice, because you were going old school. One of the things when I was younger with my grandmother, and I might have done something I wasn't supposed to somebody, right?
Right.
And she'll say, go say you're sorry. And I'll look at her like, well, I ain't sorry. Said, well, basically, you go and fake it till you make it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So that's coming from the old school.
You do things because they're right. Period. Yep.
That's right.
And that's hard in America, man. That's hard in America.
It is.
But Hatem, I mean, how hard it is because we practice self-mastery.
Yep.
Right.
And that is not easy.
Not easy at all. I'll be falling off the damn wagon all the time. I'll be like, and then my people do stuff that just kind of I'll be like, I gotta go. I can't.
We'll talk to the difficulty that part of it is that we assume that the adults should know better. We give children some leeway because we understand that their experiences may not have taught them any better, or they may not have seen some of the stuff we've seen. So we give them that leeway.
Yes.
And because, those of us in this self-mastery plan, because we constantly fall, when we pull on that compassion, it allows us with, Janice, you keep emphasizing, and what I try to constantly stress, and what Hatem tries to constantly stress, relationships.
Yes.
Is how you rebuild us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Amen. That's it.
Relationships.
That's it.
Which is a major factor in Ujima.
Yes.
There is no Ujima.
That's right.
Without a relationship. You can't have a collective without relationships.
That's right.
Relationships require responsibility.
That's right.
Sister Janice, I don't want to beat up on Hatem or anything, but he gets these people who come on the line and talk about how Kujichagulia is the most important, or they feel it's number one on the Ngusa side of the list, right?
Hey, man,
I want you to speak to how, if you take away any one of those other principles, how Kujichagulia just falls apart?
Well, I just see Kwanzaa as this collective thing.
Yes.
That if you take away any one of them,
yes,
it alters what is left behind. But let me say this about my brother Hatem. He has always straddled the line of hardcore revolutionary, heart of a dove. The thing about Hatem that I love so much is he gives everybody an opportunity to add something to the gumbo. He knows that sometimes what the person is adding is messing it up.
Yeah.
But he always has the faith that he's got enough other stuff to add to it that it'll counteract that little bit of bad juju.
I never thought about that.
I'm giving you words to what you do, bro.
Right.
I'm giving you words.
Well, it's like grandma, right? When she was, cooking, she tasted, nah, this ain't quite right. let me
but no one could accuse Hatem of not presenting all kinds of alternative opinions. No one could say that he is this brother that is only towing one line. I mean, he is towing a single line, but he's interested in voices on all sides, all along the way. He has always enjoyed the challenge of defending his personal beliefs. He's always been that way. And he likes controversy a little bit. So the more anti you are to his belief and opinion, oftentimes the more he wants to engage you, not necessarily to change the other person's mind, but to solidify the length of the argument that he can present to someone else. He wants to be strong and well-versed in his belief. And it irritates some, but it's just who he is. He's always been that way.
But that's also part of that self-mastery.
Absolutely.
Because the deeper you go into what your interest is,
yep,
and what you try to defend,
yep,
that's the more aware you become of the other ideas, perspectives around. So yeah.
Janice, you sound extremely good over there. You using your mic right now?
Nope.
Why you using your mic?
Because I didn't even think about. I didn't even.
You doing an interview and you ain't got your mic.
I'm talking into the mic on the computer.
But
she sounds great. Well,
you got to get me together, Hatem. So you got it. You got. I got a mic just like yours too. You got to get me together. Okay. So next time I'll have the mic.
You've been doing the show with the mic, right? You've been doing your show with the mic.
My podcast.
Yes.
Yes, I do. I use the mic. Yes. But but all that time we spent setting up, how come you didn't ask about my mic then? You trying to embarrass me?
No, I'm looking. I don't see the mic. I'm sitting up here like, come on, man.
I forgot. I forgot. I did. I forgot.
But well, now she's also dropping the moniker, the teacher. She is now the educational chameleon because some of y'all fools out there done ruined it for her. So she's the educational chameleon now. Anybody interested in reaching her can reach out to you at.
I'm on Instagram, Janice Rowley _. I'm on Facebook. Everything is Janice Rowley. You can reach out to Hatem and he can get in touch with me. I'm going to have, I'll be publishing my website real soon. Same name, Janice Rowley. So everything is Janice Rowley.
We're going to be doing the e-course soon?
Absolutely. I'm getting that together, sir.
Okay.
Kwame, did you know that Hatem was a slave driver? Did you know that?
Yeah, I've heard it.
And he has no compassion once he has told you what you need to get done in the field. No compassion.
Hold on. This is coming from the woman that kids come up with A's and she just smashed them down. I know you did your paper 2 weeks ago. Focus down. I will grade it when I grade it.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
second parents and stuff talking about I'm a slave driver.
But you are. I'm just saying. You know you are. You're not denying it.
I work hard too, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to
so he feels like he sets the bar, and
absolutely.
And we gotta try to climb up that mud.
Absolutely.
One of my elders told me in a very funny situation. We was looking for some nation builders for Simba one time. Somehow we got in a conversation, and he looked at me and we talking. He said, you can't be comparing nation builders to you. I said, well, he said, you can't be comparing nation builders to you because you're different. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a normal life. We need people with a normal. Because at this time I was living in the house with my sons and he knew all the stories. He like, well, you're not normal. So when we're looking for nation builders, we can't. You're not the comparison. We don't need. You know what I'm saying? We can't.
That bar is too high.
Right? It's too high. You know.
So in other words, you were called an anomaly, an outlier.
And in many ways, that's usually what I am wherever I go, because it's like I jump at the shit and I jump all the way in. You know what I'm saying? I try to most of the time.
No, you do. You do. You've always been that way too. You do.
So, but my big sister, I love you, and I
love you too.
I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're gonna have you back. We're gonna have it back. We'll have you back.
Man,
good.
Because I want to do something on the effects of Brown versus Board of Education.
And like I told you before, we can do that, but our school system looks more like Plessy versus Ferguson.
And you're gonna have to break that one down. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to break it. So you know what I'm saying? So, but everybody, I want to thank y'all for joining us on the journey. This is Ujima.
Yes.
During Kwanzaa, and we're gonna be airing this over and over again. So y'all ain't got to worry. Catch it when you can, right? But also make sure that you support what is it? Thoughts of the Teacher? Where's it?
Thoughts from the Teacher, the podcast. Yes.
Teacher. You ain't gonna change the Thoughts from the Chameleon?
No, it's Thoughts from the Teacher featuring the Educational Chameleon.
Right.
Yes.
Check it out. Those of you that's on Giami Journey, I'll be posting. Y'all can see her post up on my on Giami Journey timeline, as well as every time she drop a show, we're posting it up. It's good information. I'm sharing it with other people in education as well. And it's not just for educators, family.
That's
the information that she gives can help us move our children to where they need to be.
And one more thing, it's the holiday. A lot of parents and a lot of adults are buying a lot of young people gifts. Buy your kid a book and then have them read it. Buy yourself a book and you can read it too. Like, we need to read, people. We need to read.
Does Audibles count?
Yeah, well, so Audibles is listening to words, which for a lot of people is a great start. Our brains need more exercise. And so if you're listening and you're present listening, that's better than nothing at all. But nothing replaces reading like reading. Doesn't have to be hardcore, doesn't have to be academic. It can be light or fun. For teenagers in particular, there's an entire genre of young adult literature that the young people oftentimes get tricked into enjoying. Get your kid a book.
And, I want to speak to what Janice just said in terms of, so for example, I've been blind for 27 years now. And there was a period where I wanted to hear nothing but Black authors. But at that time, Black readers were destitute. And so you would get white authors reading Black novels, and it doesn't work. It does not work. So I can truly appreciate what you're saying there. And, and how Tim, I've talked to Mama Condi about that as well, because she thought an author, she knew the author was Black, but the reader, was white. And I had explained to her, I was like, no, I said, you just do not get the same flavor. And after I told her that, when she was listening, she was like, you're right. It's just not the same. So, yeah. And then more importantly, is to be able to see the words, and you're able to, quote unquote, tune it in according to the frequency that you're going to take it in, and not through somebody else's.
Yes, right. Right.
You just gave me an idea.
See,
right. Oh, listen, there's a whole bunch of Black books that are about to hit the public domain. And one of the things that we're going to start seeing is, like, Amazon is buying up a lot of these books, or he's taking these rights, and they're starting to read these books online for people so that they can listen. I'm saying, why can't we do the same? We got mics, you know what I'm saying? We got young people that need to practice reading anyway.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, that's just a thought. Somebody out there, feel free, just go and make sure you.
So he get ready to crack that whip.
Yep. He just had an idea live. And now watch, give it about a month, he's gonna have a whole platform full of people doing just what he just suggested.
Read books. Read books. And sending money to some of those families that ain't getting the money from those authors, because I'm quite sure some of those families are not getting any of the residuals. Because I was on Amazon the other day and I saw Destruction of Black Civilization on Amazon. About $10, read it to you, blah, blah, blah. But then the question is
Diop's family getting anything? No.
Right. They ain't no.
Right.
So, but all right, family, I got to get up, and I love both of y'all.
Thank you. Love y'all too.
Before you go, Janice, give us that quote one more time.
Academic success comes on the other side of immense frustration and failure. Children need to learn that. Adults need to learn that. Winning is a result of having failed multiple times.
And then, as my Kemetic group says, Amen Hatepu. Amen is satisfied.
Ashe.
Yes.
Give thanks, sis.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to both of you.
Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. No, I'm just joking, family. Family, thank you for joining us. Be sure to catch us on the next video, family. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch.